She promises. All right, let's roll. All right, here we go. Yo, it is another edition of the High Ups podcast where, yes, that is correct. The Phillies lost 2-3. It's unbelievable, and you can see if you're watching the video, my daughter Zoe making a sad face right over my shoulder. And now she's happy because I acknowledge her. How you doing, Fritzy? This is unexpected. It's what happens when you record on Memorial Day. You've got your daughter promising to be good while you record, but insisting that she hang out with you for the recording. How you doing, buddy?
Well, I'm doing what they usually do when the Phillies lose, Seltzer, and that is watching Aiden Miller highlights and convincing myself that he is the next Gunnar Henderson, and really just looking ahead to the future, because what's the point of living in the present when they lose 2-3 to the Rockies?
It's over. Colorado, what do we expect, right? It's like the House of Horrors. I was about to say they could be the best team ever and still lose 2-3 in Colorado. It might have happened. They still could be the best team ever.
They've lost, I think they've 16 of 23 in Colorado. So
that's insane.
Yeah. So it's definitely not exactly the greatest place in the world for this baseball team to go to.
By the way, shout out to Miller Lite, sponsored by Miller Lite, official sponsor of the Philadelphia Phillies. Tastes like Miller time, Philadelphia. Celebrate responsibly, Fritzy. It was kind of a weird weekend of baseball. Yet we'll get to this will probably not be the longest pod. Multiple reasons. One of them is climbing me right now.
Really? Why?
She's is it just, if you're not watching the video, you don't get it. My daughter has climbed back and see who's ever watching is climbing on me. And she was like, I swear I will sit silently and be good. Promise. So we're off to a good start. It was a weird series. Like the game one, the Harper gets tossed. They still come within a pitch of winning the game, so close to winning it and then blow it. Then obviously the second one down the entire game, 6 in the 9th, the Harper homer, the whole thing. And yesterday was just yesterday felt like one of maybe a couple. I think that game in the rain against the Reds when Wheeler started. There have only been a couple games this year that just felt like a real deal loss. Not like extra innings, not like coming down the last pitch, not like the Phillies fighting it out to get to extra innings and then losing. They just lost yesterday. Felt weird.
Yeah, they did. And Friday was annoying from the standpoint of, that's a game they obviously win if Bryce is not thrown out of the game in the first inning. If Bryce is getting a hit at some point during that, and it's going to be a totally different ballgame. Also, they would have won. I mean, Alvarado made a bad pitch to Jacob Stallings, who apparently is the greatest hitter in the history of the world against the Phillies. And the Jacob Stallings thing is just sickening.
It's insane.
I can't handle the Jacob Stallings things. I can handle a lot. We've been through a lot as a fan base, as a franchise, as people. But Jacob Stallings torching the Phillies is not one of them that we should have to deal with. I know he's batting 300 on the year, but I don't care. He can't hit. So, but yeah, yesterday was just a good old fashioned loss. I actually thought they were going to come back and win. And maybe that's because I've been so accustomed to this team finding a way to battle their way through things, and they're going to come back and come out and win a game they shouldn't. But that just wasn't in the works yesterday. They kind of jumped on Ranger, which was it was an odd feeling watching. Yeah. So, but yeah, yesterday was a normal loss. Didn't handle it well, and it was good to feel something. Not this, it was good to be humbled. You know what I mean? Just
we needed that. We got a little big for our britches.
Yeah, it was good. It's good to know that there's still something in there. So I don't know. It was a frustrating series. They've had a really good run. Weird things happen in Colorado. I don't know what it is, but it's all good. And we're on to San Francisco.
We're on to San Francisco. It is a weird feeling. Again, it has felt so natural just handling business. And it's yesterday, especially it was the first time in the 8th and 9th inning, I was I don't think they're going to win. The first time I felt they're probably not going to pull this game out. And it happened. The Friday one, I think, is the more annoying one. That's going to happen. Ranger, believe it or not, was not going to win every single start for the rest of the year. I know that seems hard to believe. Yeah, it felt like he was actually going to do it. But the Friday one was the one that was really frustrating.
It was frustrating. And it was so funny seeing the reaction to the JT Real Muto check swing, it's like I appreciate being mad about it, but can we also admit that Whit Merrifield,
it all evens out over the course of time.
That was baseball. That was little justice for the Whit Merrifield check swing. So, Friday, I actually thought Christopher Sanchez did a good job. Given that Nola and Ranger didn't pitch their best, it was good to see that. And this is going to sound like the most high hopes sentence of all time. But I actually leave the weekend feeling pretty positive.
Oh my goodness, love it.
Yep.
Good job.
We've come full circle. Yes.
Yeah, it's great.
So here's why I feel positive. Okay, here's why I feel positive. I think there was a lot of good signs from the bullpen, a lot of continued good signs. Now, one to monitor, and he's been surviving with it not being 101 with sink. He's been more 97 with cut, Jose Alvarado, and somehow, again, Jacob Stallings didn't miss it. So, an Alvarado, a bit of a decrease in stuff is certainly something to monitor. But I thought Sir Anthony continues to look really good. They've made that adjustment again back to that 98 with cut on his fastball when he first came up, and they've added depth to his slider. I mean, if there was only one podcast that had been saying that for a little bit, it would have been. I mean, we could have avoided the first 2 weeks of the season. But regardless, I think we're there. Kerkering, I thought, was massive on Friday. I thought it's a big spot. He's starting to pitch more and more. It was good to see the fastball get back up to 98 yesterday, because what I was worried about, because of course, everything with this team right now, I have to worry about every little thing because it's too good, of course. I don't know how I don't know how to live in the moment. But he was at 96, 97 on Friday, back up to 98. So I think it's important for Kerkering to not be losing velocity because it's the most that he's pitched in a while. And he's obviously a young kid, and he's got a 1.65 ERA at the end of the year. So I think that's really good. And James, if you need 3 outs, your life's on the line. How confident are you in Jose?
In Sir Anthony?
No, Jose.
Oh, no. Dude, guy gets outs.
Dude.
It's not too bad, man. I feel like every time he gets thrown into a high leverage situation, kind of does fine.
Dude, those 2 innings on Friday night were life changing.
Yeah, sure.
It was unbelievable. Let's put it this way. He, in a bullpen with a bunch of dudes with a bunch of stuff, he fits right in. And I think he's thrown a curveball that they didn't have before. So once again, I could watch the Phillies bullpen all day. Let's get that one out of the way. I could watch. They are the greatest, dude. They're just the greatest. There's so much stuff. I don't know what you want me to do. There's Jeff Hoffman, Strami, Gregory Soto. We'll
survive. Yeah.
I guess.
As long as he's not pitching in a huge game, right?
Yeah. Never. I leave the weekend feeling pretty positive. I thought Nola, the way he grinded after Saturday, or after he kind of got shelled early, they found an adjustment there. Ranger
still got through 6 or whatever. Yeah.
I mean, Rangers retired 16 straight after the second inning, so it was clear. By my eyes, I think the sinker wasn't sinking for Ranger because of the Colorado altitude.
Yeah, he stopped throwing it. He actually just stopped throwing it partway through the start. He was like, "All right, I'm done throwing this pitch. It's not working." Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's also Gotham. That's Gotham being like, "Dude, the ball's not moving here. Let's adjust." Yeah. So the offense definitely annoying. 2 runs definitely annoying. But I don't know. I can't get too down on them because they've been so good. I think that what you saw the bullpen, what you saw out of the starters was good enough to be not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, look, again, I do think it is funny that we're coming out of the first losing series in a month or whatever, and your take is, hey, bullpen looked great, man. I love it. I think it's such a great spin. Look, they lost the series, big deal, and it's the Rockies. I even said it going out. I thought Friday night was it Friday? Yeah. Friday, yeah. I thought Friday was a stone cold loss. I said on the pod, I was like, they got to win that game. They swept the Rangers, this big series, the whole World Series champ thing and all that. They sweep them, then have to get on a plane and go to Colorado. You're going to lose that game, and they almost didn't. If Harper doesn't get ejected, they won't lose that game, and they probably win the series. Yeah, I can't at all get worked up. Honestly, especially considering that, and you don't root for injuries or whatever, But the single most important thing that's happened by far was Ronald Acuna going down for the season. Like, it's not even close that is the biggest thing that happened this weekend. The Phillies could have gotten swept in Colorado, and it would pale in comparison in terms of importance to Acuna going down. Like, big. I'm surprised we have my bad for going 10 minutes into the pod without even mentioning the news of the weekend, but Acuna's done. Like, went down yesterday, said he thought it was they avoided a major injury. News came out late last night. I believe it was late last night. Done for the year. Like, Strider and Acuna. Now, to be fair, last time Acuna went down, they won the World Series, so we can all keep that in mind. But, it's certainly, that's big news, Jack. Big news.
Yeah, obviously it's a shame. Let's get that one out of the way.
Oh, yeah.
It's a shame that Ron Acuna tore his ACL again. I mean, it's the second time this has happened. I believe
it's tough.
It's a different knee, I believe.
I think so.
So, and I actually remember hearing him talk about his recovery from the last one, how he was like, I might want to give up baseball. So I feel bad for him on that level, And for the sport, look, again, we want the Phillies to win and we want bad things to happen to the Braves. Like, that's the way it works. But, like, this dude is the first guy ever to go 40, 50, 40, 60, and 40, 70. And he did it last year. Like, he's good for the sport. He's fun. And, like, honestly, I enjoyed beating him in the playoffs. So, it's too bad for the sport, for sure. Yeah, and a little part of me is I'm not going to get too ahead of myself because, again, the last time this happened, they won the World Series.
They won the World Series.
So I don't think I need to be like, oh, my God, they're dead. They're over. Because for some reason, James, that team is like the Grim Reaper. Like, they at least in the regular season. And I guess like roles reverse in the postseason. Like, we turn into the Grim Reaper for them, and then in the regular season, that's
nice.
Them. So
that's good.
Yeah, thank you. I'm not. No, I know what the Grim Reaper is. Yes,
okay.
I feel like sometimes I get stuck. Right?
Do you want to elaborate? You think you know, or do you definitely know?
It's a thing with the. It's
called a scythe, I believe.
Scythe. Okay.
Yeah,
and he's
that,
goes
that
door to door and. It's over.
Well, it doesn't go door to door, but yes, theoretically, the idea of when you're dead, you see the Grim Reaper and he brings you with him, so to speak.
Well, the meme I saw on social media was that one where he goes door to door and it's whatever.
Okay.
But yes,
I like that you're learning through memes. This is a good way to gain knowledge.
Yeah, well, I think that's a right way to go. Is through the internet. Yeah. It seems like a good way to learn. It's
always right.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really a place of high learning. So
I agree.
So, yes, I do know what the Grim Reaper is, and one day at a time here. But, it's a huge injury. Strider being down, like, but I also, like, I can never count him out. Like, Chris Sale's looking like peak Chris Sale.
Looks amazing, yeah.
Like, imagine if Strider was there, what we're saying about, like, Max Fried threw a complete
Max Fried looks awesome again, yeah.
Yeah, so, it's unfortunate. It's funny because the Phillies don't play anyone from the NL East anymore, so it's like we don't even get to experience the Acuna thing. But I can't totally count out the Braves because, unfortunately for us, they are still the regular season Braves.
I agree, and like we said, like it's like there is no easier way to say we're not going to overrate this injury than saying they won the World Series last time he went down with this exact injury. So. It's certainly not. You can't kind of look past that. All right, let's get back to the Phils from the weekend. What else stood out to you? Like, it seems, again, joking around, but it really is, when they're, 38-16 now overall, when they, lose their first series in over a month or whatever it is, like, and it was a series where, again, they probably don't lose game one if Harper doesn't get thrown out. Game, 3 was just kind of a bad Ranger start, which never happens, or a bad Ranger inning. It's just I don't really know what to take away from it. I think this next series will be interesting to see how this team rebounds after their first lost series in a while. Still on the West Coast. Obviously, the history of the West Coast has not been great. I know earlier this year was good, but I'm intrigued to see how they kind of bounce back after a bad series. But I just look at this series. I don't really know what to say outside of, they lost the series. Like, it's like shrug,
Yeah. Well, I think there's a couple things. I mean, we might as well just go through what we have in the take bag, Yeah,
I mean, this feels like an early take bag show. Yeah, I mean, it's Memorial Day. If we get 30 minutes for you, you're welcome. Yeah. Again, I have a child who is acting like a psychopath right next to me, right here. Like, just like a moving around, jumping in front of the camera again, moving around, back in front of the camera again, you know. So that's what I'm dealing with over here.
If there's the biggest lie ever told was she's going to be quiet.
Oh my God, it was such a lie. And I'm a sucker. Because she's me and I want to believe in my best qualities coming through when I should know that me is going to come through, the real me. And that's right here. This psychotic child just jumping in and having, hey, how you guys doing? I'm here.
Yeah. So, the lock and center. I just want to put this out there for everyone. You know, I hope that you're happy. I hope that everyone's happy with Kyle Schwarber hitting singles. I hope that.
You think you got bullied into this? Oh, I love it. This is Jack. Honestly, if I could stand and it would be next to the microphone, I would. What a take! Well done.
I hope you're so happy. Oh, it's so refreshing seeing him rip singles into right field and hit. No, it's been funny watching Schwarber turn into a slap hitter right in front of our eyes.
I know.
He's one home run in May. He has one home run in May.
I know.
And he hasn't been bad. Like, he hasn't been
No,
bad.
I mean, his on base percentage is up to like 350-ish or whatever. It's somewhere in that range. Like, he's getting on base.
Yeah, he's getting on base.
And he's batting like whatever. It's like nothing special, but I mean, him batting 220. I was gonna say 220 something, 231 on May 27th. Are you kidding me? This is like 185 territory. You know?
Yeah. So it's been funny. He's been ripping singles. He's been going a lot opposite field. He's been driving in runners with runner on base less than 3 outs or less than 2 outs. So yeah, I hope everyone's happy. Oh, he doesn't strike out, and he's fine. He's good. He's always been good. We don't have to worry about the singles. I look forward to. Is there 31 days in May or 30?
There's 31.
Okay, so I look forward to 5 days from now, and he can start launching home runs again, and everyone can be. I would rather again get back down to the 210s. With the 9 home run month, and just so people can get back to their normal hating ways, with Kyle Schwarber.
I think it's a great take, and I'm 100% with you. And it's going to be hilarious, if he just keeps it. I mean, he's going to go off in June. He has to. I mean, he's Kyle Schwarber. But it's been very funny just watching him rip little singles, and I mean, some big RBI singles, man.
Dude, listen, got to put the ball in play, James. You never know.
That's a good hitter,
There's no bad hops in the sky. That's
true. Is that a saying? I've never heard that. That's good.
It's what my college coach said.
Did that? It's a really good line. He's right.
There's no bad hops in the sky. Yeah. Now that was only because our infield was like playing on like there's rocks were everywhere. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, it's great field.
Yeah, it was dynamite stuff. But it was a great place.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. 3 straight starts for Stubbs with Nola.
It's a little clearly, I mean, purposeful or just the way it shook out. I mean, could have given they could have given JT the day. They could have gone with Ranger and put Garrett in the day game. They decided to go with Nola. Do you think that's a comfort thing? I mean,
maybe. I don't know. It's weird because you see the Wheeler. The Wheeler Stubbs thing, which clearly doesn't work. And then there's this one where it's like, okay, maybe there's something there. Like, he had the good start against the Mets in there, and maybe it's just like, hey, he's on a rhythm with them, let's keep him there. And I don't think anything really changed in the Colorado start that would make them shy away from it. I mean, sometimes pitchers have personal catchers. The only
Stubbs is going to play. Like, he's going to play once a week or whatever it is. So if you find a spot where it's comfortable and consistent, it does make sense. I mean, Greg Maddux had a personal catcher his whole freaking career, like that does happen.
The only issue is that he's not starting in the postseason. So while I appreciate the regular season catcher stuff, and it was a big, I mean, it was a big. I mean, that's his biggest hit of the year right there. Well, now did you see his winning yarmulke? Are you gonna get one for yourself?
So great. Yeah. So great. Shout out to Alex Coffey for getting that out there. That was phenomenal work.
Yeah. So I ordered you one, so you can.
Good. Good.
You can wear them on the podcast. But
I think it's a good idea. Yeah.
But yeah, like it was such a Stubbsy game. Like steals third, steals a run there. He also had like some weird pass balls. The thing I can't figure out about Stubbs is like it's almost as if his reaction time is just a smidge off. Like somehow he's always stabbing at baseballs.
Totally.
And you don't see catchers do that.
Never. I feel like honestly, sometimes they lose strike calls because he like stabs at the ball and his glove ends up out of the zone. I'm like, that was a strike, and he didn't get it because he stabbed at the ball and like caught it all weirdly. I know.
The other funny part about Stubbs is that he kind of has a hose. I mean, he
can throw.
Rocketed the one on Saturday.
Perfect. It could not have been a better ball placement. Like, yeah.
What a ball player. But it was a good, at least he got some hits and calmed everyone down and
to the point we always make. I mean, when he got that hit, when he came back to the dugout after the double play, like everyone was like, this team is genuinely happy for each other. They love each other, but like it felt like an extra level of excitement to congratulate Stubbs for doing something good. You know what I mean? He does bring something. The culture stuff matters. Like you could see it when he does something good. The entire team goes nuts for the guy, you know, and I love that.
Yeah. So that was my thing on Stubbs. Nola, one observation about the Coors Field ballpark thing. You know, there was a sign behind home plate that umps are our neighbors. It's like, what is this? Is this a Joe West initiative? Where
is this we're trying to like suck up to the umps or something? It's so confused. Like, hey, umps, look here, we're friendly. Give us good calls. That's really weird.
Well, no, but I can't tell if it's saying to people in the crowd, don't boo them. Like,
yeah, they're good human beings. Oh, that's what it is. Yes, I'm sorry, neighbors. That's umps are people too. You know what it was? It probably was either retired ump or off, non-working ump going to the game, being like, yeah, guys, look. Or it was like the local guy ump, who's like going to support his ump brethren, which happens.
Well, it was like paid advertisement.
WIP, there'll be some like umping thing, and some we'll get the local guy call up, shout out to like Gary in Southampton or whatever, being like, well, actually, let me tell you why the ump was right. I mean, it happens all the time.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't think you understand what I'm saying. It was like a paid advertisement behind home plate.
Whoa.
It wasn't just a sign.
No, I thought it was a person holding a sign.
No.
They had a paid advertisement there that said, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
Inside baseball, and I'm sure you know this about me, like I notice nothing except what I'm looking at. Emily always joked she could rearrange our furniture and I'd walk in and not notice. My buddy, I lived at a apartment building for 7 years, or I lived there for a decade, but my buddy lived there for 7 years. I used to go up to his house to watch baseball like 4 nights a week. 6 years in, there's a guy working on his door. I'm like, what's the guy doing? He's like, he's fixing the hole in the door. I'm like, what hole in the door? He's like, you're kidding, right? I'm like, nope. He's like, I've had a giant hole in my door for the entire 6 years you've come to my place. Apparently never noticed it once. So like, that's not surprising. But anyway, point is, I can't believe that was actually a paid advertisement. Do you think the umps paid for it?
I have no idea. I have no idea who paid for it. Like, it just, I was sitting there and I was like, what does that sign, like, is the goal here to people be like, oh, no, I'm not gonna make fun of the umpire right now because they are our neighbors. It's like, sure, I'm all about the be nice to people thing. It was a little odd. And it was especially funny. It was especially funny 2 days after Bryce Harper referred to the umpire as 120.
Mm-hmm.
Like number 120, which is all time. So, and it is quite funny that Bryce is so far ahead. Ejections.
He's got like 12 more than anyone else or something, or more. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's called passion.
Yeah,
It's called passion for the game, and then nothing less.
Yeah.
Yes, that is. He cares. That is the. That's the
takeaway. It's the only takeaway. Yes, he cares.
This is just a general baseball thought, and I wonder if you've kind of felt this as well. And just watching the games over the weekend, like even ballparks that have been not really filled up, like it seems like there's a lot of people in the stands this weekend. For
I agree with that. Yeah,
I thought Colorado was damn near sold out yesterday.
Yeah,
the team stinks.
Team stinks. Yeah, no, it was a good weekend for baseball. I felt the same. I was texting you today. I was watching the Tigers Blue Jays game for a day game on a week, like a Friday. It was pretty crowded. The Cardinals game, not last night because of the rain, but the one before was pretty good. Yeah, I think it's a good point. From what I watched, it's pretty crowded.
Well, and I just wonder, my optimistic sense is that, oh my God, like
Baseball's back.
The pitch clock has brought people back to baseball. Everything's fine. We've saved it. I did have it written in my notes here, more Jose Ruiz thoughts, but we gave that out earlier. We don't need to do more Jose Ruiz.
Deeper Jose Ruiz thoughts? You don't want to like any extra level to it?
No, I just didn't need to do that. I just want to point out the Phillies now have 5 top 100 prospects, as Starlin Cava was put in. Now, MLB Pipeline, I'm not
buddy, 80 glove.
Yeah, MLB Pipeline, I'm not a huge fan of their rankings. Like, I feel like they're consistently off.
Lots at MLB Pipeline. Wow.
No big deal.
The guy who makes them is a huge fan of our show. No big deal.
No big deal to me. Painter, Miller, Abel, Crawford, Gaba. Now Abel's been like pretty brutal at AAA, but he's still top 50, I guess.
And been shooting the ranks.
Well, yeah, and then Miller, obviously, but Aiden Miller, I think, is
that's what I'm saying. Aiden Miller has been shooting up the ranks. I'm saying.
Right. Well, he was he was 29 on ESPN's. So those prospect rankings I'm a fan of. Like anyone that has Aiden in the top 30 where he belongs is the correct rankings in my eyes.
It's pretty impressive though. Seriously, like it was a below slot pick, or he fell because of slot stuff or whatever. To get him, was it 27 or something? They picked 27. I mean he's anywhere. Like if he's a top 50 prospect on any of these lists this quickly after being drafted, you got him 27th in the draft. That's pretty damn good.
He's gunner, dude. I'm telling he is.
But all over him. This is about as all over someone as you have been in a while from the jump. So,
he's gunner. And then the final thing here,
the final thing.
Okay.
Let me just shout out our Miller account. A Miller Lite account of the week, considering last week. Remember, I didn't shout out the Miller Lite account of the week. We love Miller Lite. Today's show is sponsored by Miller Lite and Screwballs Sports Bar and Grill in King of Prussia. Check out Screwballs for every Phillies game and enjoy a $3.25 Miller Lite pints along with Bay's Italian roast pork sandwich. Miller Lites for Phil's wouldn't celebrate responsibly. You're a roast pork guy, right?
Yeah, of course. It's a sandwich.
Yeah, exactly. It's well said. It's a sandwich. I'm in. Yeah, you had me at sandwich.
Yeah, there's few sandwiches I'm not a huge fan of. Like you want to go down to PB&J? Sure, I'll do a nice PB&J.
Very with you. Very with you.
All in on sandwiches. How about that? How about all in on the sandwich?
It's a bold take.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Only bold takes only on this podcast. I think it's hilarious that they're facing. I had no idea Spencer Howard was in the big league still, and they're facing him tomorrow, which is
he's on the Giants.
Yeah.
You could have got me with that, buddy.
I had no idea he was on the Giants, but it's so funny how there's like no. I feel like when failed prospects leave, we like have this vendetta against them.
Oh my God, you're so right. We're like and no offense, Jack. Even like Nick Pivetta, not a failed prospect, but even Pivetta, we follow. My brother texted me, and I texted you, and my brother texted me that he watched Pivetta's 1000th K this weekend, like live, and like even with guys like that, we follow them and we're tracking them. But like you're right, Spencer Howard was a big deal, and we never pay any attention to it. I didn't even know he was still baseball.
Dude, he went to the Yankees and pitched up there. Like he went from this guy's going to be our future ace to just awful in almost quicker than anything I've ever seen. And it was so funny how quickly Dave Dombrowski gave up on him. Like,
he had no qualms about it.
He was on the job for like 2 minutes and was like, yeah, it doesn't have it. And I mean, I don't know. There's so many Spencer Howard stories that are my favorite, but I need to eat closer to the start so I don't get tired. I don't want to run to first base so I don't get tired. Trying to explain how his velocity would go from 97 in the first to 91 in 2 innings. Like I've just never seen it before. I've never seen that happen before with a major leaguer. So, naturally, see, everyone, of course, I tweeted about it today. People are like, oh, he's going to shut him down. Like, he won't. I promise you, he won't. Like even if he shuts him down, it'll be like 4 innings because he can't go more than 4. If he pitches 6 innings, I'm quitting the podcast. Like,
good. That's
yeah. we're laying down the gauntlet. If he pitches 6 innings and like gets a quality start, there will be no more High Hopes podcast. I don't care that they're 38 and 16. I refuse to ever do another podcast if they get shut down by Spencer Howard.
I think it's a fair thing to put out there.
9:45 at night too. I'm staying up all night to watch them get shut down by Spencer Howard. Yeah, right. Someone else can do this podcast. Just kidding. I would never quit this podcast for the entirety of my life.
There's nothing you could do.
But Spencer Howard is just like, he was so frustrating. He was so like, at least Gavin Floyd had a career. You know, like at least these other big time pitching prospects did something. Like this guy, everywhere he goes, people are like, nah, nope, can't deal with him. So we'll see what happens. But it's Wheeler versus Spencer Howard tomorrow. If they lose that start, no, like this podcast will cease to exist.
It's a classic battle of teams' former prospects coming back to face each other. Think about that.
Yeah, try not to well up at the emotions of that one.
Exactly. Everett Giants' legacy is large.
Yep.
Large.
Yeah. So be looking forward to that. And
the first pitch. What do you think?
What'd you say?
You think Carlos Beltran will throw out the first pitch?
That'd be nice.
See what I did there?
I know. It's good work.
Thanks.
I can't believe that trade was like
1 for 1. Wasn't it just Beltran for Wheeler? Like I feel like you so rarely see that too.
Yeah. So we got the stopper on the mound tonight versus Blake Snell.
Our guy,
the old 5
winner.
o'clock.
He's a winner, is what he is.
The old 5 o'clock start.
5:05 is like right up my alley. I'm like, that is like, thanks, guys.
Well, I'm just so happy that they're actually playing on a holiday where everyone's off.
So right. I feel like they're always off. I'm so with you.
It
makes me so angry every time.
Yeah. And by the way, for everyone commenting in the YouTubes,
we getting some comments.
Well, the title of this podcast was obviously facetious. No one's panicking. Would you everyone just calm down?
Oh, okay, I can't even see that. That's good.
Yes. So everyone just calm down. But
everybody.
Either way, they haven't lost. Zoe, give me a go, Phils.
Give me a go, Phils.
Hi. Go Phillies.
Okay, that's good.
There it is.
Now we're not going to lose 2 straight. Like I can't handle 2 straight losses. So
no.
Yeah, we gotta get it back on track.
We got it. All right. This was fun.
Sure.
Blame Zoe for ruining the podcast. I'm sorry to everybody. It's all Zoe's fault.
What? Never.
She doesn't seem too broken up over it.
She doesn't. She seems like actually happy.
Yeah, she's like, this was great.
That's what
I'm guessing we're back Thursday. Off date Thursday. That probably makes sense.
Yeah, we'll be back Thursday.
Yeah, unless, we all know. We don't even need to say it. Just win the series. All right. Zoe, any final thoughts? She waved. That was I really appreciate it.
Hello.
There we go.
What do you think about Jose Ruiz?
What do you think of Jose Ruiz?
Is he now one of the most 5 important people in your life?
Is Jose Ruiz one of the 5 most important people in your life?
A little bit.
A little bit.
Okay.
That's what that means. Okay, I like that. That's a big spot for Jose Ruiz.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Again, sorry for Zoe. She feels real bad about it. We'll be back on Thursday. Sans Zoe, that I can promise. All right. Until then, you split some seltzer.
Yeah.